Hey guys, it's itsAllyana and welcome back to my channel. So recently I've been really wanting to get back into sewing. I really miss it. So I decided to make this corset top. It's very booby, but I'm really happy with how it came out. And I decided to record it. So if you are interested in seeing what I did and recreating this for yourself, just keep on watching. Okay, so starting by making the pattern pieces, I just took a tank top that fit me well and folded it in half, and I wanted my neckline to be more square, so I'm just stretching the tank top and tracing the outline just to get like my two pattern pieces. Pretty simple, pretty easy. This is kind of like a rough draft of like my final thing. You'll see. I then went ahead and took these pieces and cut them out onto some spare fabric that I had just so I can make a sample piece for myself so that I'm able to mark anything that needs to change and also mark where I want my darts to be. And when I say darts, I mean the line that I'm going to cut on the front piece just so it curves to my body more and so the corset isn't blocky. I then went ahead and seam ripped my sample piece just so I can make some new pattern pieces that are actually going to fit me correctly. And then I cut that on another sample piece just to make sure everything fit correctly. And I wanted the bottom of my corset to be curved, so this is where I marked how I wanted that to be. And in the end, these are what my pattern pieces ended up looking like. I then went ahead and pinned and sewed all of my pieces together. In the next couple of clips, you're going to see that I sewed the straps together. That was wrong. I have no idea why I did that. Don't do that. Leave the straps open. Thank you. I later had to go back and seam rip my mistake. It was a mess. So just ignore the sewn straps in these next couple of clips. So this is what my piece is looking like so far. I then went ahead and cut slits into the curved seams just so it lays a lot flatter. And then I top stitched over those curved seams because I think it just looks much more professional and neater, and yeah. So after all of that is done, you're going to want to place your two pieces together and begin to pin them. This is where I realized that sewing the straps together made absolutely no sense, but this is what your piece should look like, and you're going to sew along the red lines and keep the tops of the straps open. So to flip my corset inside out, I'm going to be using a zip tie and some tape. I'm just going to insert the zip tie through one of the straps and then use the tape to tape it to the head of the zip tie and to one side of my fabric. And then I'm just going to pull it through and it works perfectly. No need to buy a loop turner. So after top stitching, it's now the correct time to sew the straps together. So I just pinned them together, sewed them, and then after sewing, I zigzag stitched along the free or the remaining edges just to keep them from fraying, and top stitched those down so they would be flat. So now it's time to figure out where you want your boning to go. Well, I didn't use boning, I used zip ties because that's what I had at my house, but you're just going to want to decide where you want that and mark them and make channels big enough for the zip ties to actually fit perfectly inside. I I then went ahead and measured the length of the raw edge of my corset just so I can see how much bias tape I was going to need. I took that measurement and added like 2 more inches just to be safe, and then I made a strip of that length and a width of 4 inches, if that makes sense, and I just ironed it to make a bias tape that matches the fabric. And then you're going to want to take the ends of your zip ties and just cut off a little bit extra before sewing on your bias, because you don't want to sew through the zip ties. You're then just going to open up your bias tape and sew half of it to the back side of the corset with a zigzag stitch just to hold it in place. And then you're going to fold it over and do a regular top stitch on the front side. And once that is done, it's time to install the eyelets and your string or cord or whatever you decide to use to tie your corset. I have no idea what happened to my outro clip, but we've come to the end of the video, and I really hope you guys enjoyed and maybe even try this out for yourselves. I had a lot of extra fabric from this project, so I ended up making a skirt, and I'm really happy with how it came out. So if you guys are interested in seeing a tutorial for that, just give this video a like, and I'll be sure to get that uploaded. But I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!